I'm going to wait to buy real estate until prices come down. So today's video is going to be about this question that I get constantly, and that is, or maybe it's a statement, I'm going to wait to buy real estate until prices come down. Here's some other variations. Interest rates are rising. What's going to happen? Or is the market going to crash? And the other one is, now is not a good time to buy. So according to Freddie Mac, we've got mortgage rates, and we've got our 30-year mortgage rate, which kind of peaked on 5/12 at 5.3%. Now we're actually coming down just a little to 5.25%. But if you check out the graph that's going to be up here, it's from 12/30 of this year, we had 3.1% all the way to 5.3. So there is a little bit of rate shock going on, but we've got some good news. The mortgage rates are decreasing slightly, and according to the chief economist for Freddie Mac, economic uncertainty is causing mortgage rate volatility. As a result, purchase demand is waning and home builder sentiment has dropped to the lowest level in nearly 2 years. Builders are also dealing with rising costs, meaning this posture is likely to continue. From the week before, in the months ahead, we expect the monetary policy and inflation to discourage many consumers, weakening the purchasing demand and decelerating home price growth. So as far as the mortgage survey for what's going on, the average mortgage broker thinks that we will land around 5.25 for at least the rest of the summer. Mortgage rates are likely to move higher throughout the rest of 2022, but not at the pace that we've seen in the first half of the year. So much of the increase in early 2022 was to handle the issue of inflation, and as the Federal Reserve gets that in line, hopefully they will still increase it to handle that problem, but not at the same rate that they have been earlier before. And this is according to Len Kiefer, Deputy Chief Economist for Freddie Mac. So if you want to know what's going to go on with the interest rates and you're looking at the stock market, what you actually want to look at is the 10-year Treasury note. So mortgage rates and the 10-year Treasury note actually stay really closely in line, and the spread for the last 50 years, or I don't even know how long it's been, but since 1972, all the way through the last recession, all the way till now, it's been in line within 2%, and the 10-year Treasury note is actually moving down as we speak. So the 30-year rate versus the Treasury note, right now at 5.3%, the Treasury note is tapering down just slightly at 2.85%. That's as of right now. And we started January at 1.72% for the 10-year Treasury note, and the 30-year mortgage rate started at 3.22%. So the current mortgage rate compared to the last 5 decades. I mentioned this in some of my other videos that I've done, but in the 1970s we were at a 8.86. The current rate, by the way, is floating around 5.25. In the 1980s it was at 12.7. 1990s 8.12, the 2000s 6.27, and in 2010 we were at 4.09. So the baseline is the current rate, and of course we're coming out of a record low interest rates, so it's creating some waning interest. The other thing is nearly 30% of all transactions, and I can actually speak to this in our local market, are taking place in cash. And that is a stable contingent of buyers who are not rate sensitive. So 30% of all transactions being cash is a huge deal right now. And that's because people are pulling some of their money out of the stock market and trying to put it into tangible assets, is what they're telling me. One of the biggest deals is that the recession doesn't actually equal a housing crisis. And here in front of me on the graph that you're going to see as well, we've got the last 6 recessions, and a recession is defined as the gross domestic product decreasing for 2 quarters in a row. So we're kind of waiting to hear what's happened, but the first quarter we did decrease, so we're probably in a recession. We'll have to wait and see. But in 1980, home values increased 6.1%. 1981, they increased 3.5%. 1991, they decreased by about 2%. 2001, increase of 6.6%. 2008, which is what everyone thinks of when they hear recession, we did lose 20% of home values at that point. And in 2020, they increased about 6%. The last graph that I saw personally, I don't think it's going to be in the video, was that the chief economists for NAR and for Realtor.com think that home prices will still increase by about 9% this year and then maybe taper off in the following 2 or 3 years. The biggest reason for that is one thing that everyone seems to keep forgetting about, and that is that buyer demand is still extremely high. It's still an extremely hot seller's market. It's just not at the frenzy that we were seeing in 2021 or early 2022. So when you're thinking about trying to sell your home, you may want to get the equity out if that's what you're interested in doing now before there's tons of competition to have to deal with. And while the buyers are still trying to buy in this current summer market, I think it's still a great time to sell. If you have any questions, all my contact information is going to be at the end of the video and down below. So don't be afraid to give me a like, hit that bell to get notifications when new videos come out, and subscribe if you want more videos like this in the coming weeks. I'm dedicated to bringing all the knowledge I can to Northern Nevada and anyone looking to buy and sell or invest in real estate. I'll talk to you soon.